Alrighty then, welcome back. Day 3 started nice and early at 3:30 in the morning because we're a wakeful character and required less sleep, so therefore, we're able to get an earlier start. So, having a bag of chips for breakfast, we decided that we wouldn't waste this and head out into the local, street and see what type of loot we could gather early in the morning and maybe try and make our way towards the bookstore today to really push our experience ahead. I decided to start with the house directly across the road from our safe house and work our way up the street from there. This is one of the reasons I like building in this location because, as you can see, it's close to an area that's got plenty of houses with sheds and plenty of houses with foods, bookcases and all the rest of it. If you're looking for working with generators, it's a good area because it's a pretty high chance. I mean, I check the bookcases here and get unlucky, of course, but as you can see, a high chance of it possibly being spawned in on one of these shelves for your playthrough. Not finding anything really spectacular in the first house. Decided to head upstairs. I could hear a zombie, so I found a fanny pack which I would use for my cigarettes at this point. Put that on before confronting the zombie. Decided that it might be better if I turned the light on first, so I can at least see the damn thing. Letting the zombie out and claiming my first kill for the morning. And then decided it best to finish looting the house and head over to the houses on the opposite side of the street and start working our way up towards the centre of town. Coming across our next few zombies of the morning, I decided I would quickly dispatch them before heading inside to clear this other house that was close by to our safe house. Timed the removing of the glass perfectly to let this zombie out and jumped on in to start looting the bottom floor. No working with generators mag, unfortunately. Could hear a little bit of noise upstairs, but nothing I thought too much of. So ignoring that for now, I went about looting the bottom floor. Running up the stairs, I ran into an absolute shitstorm of zombies that I didn't really expect. I thought they'd be behind doors or something at least, but no, they were all just right there. If I'd ran up any faster, I probably would have been their breakfast. Taking care of the little party of zombies from the top of the staircase. Finished the last one off on the stairs. And headed upstairs to finish looting the house and move on to next door. After our earlier close call, I decided that it was best to probably take our time and kill as many zombies as possible before sneaking in through the side window here. Thinking that that one jumping out of the window was because of the activity inside, I proceeded to then jump through a window just as a zombie jumped out of it. Headed inside and took care of the dude banging his head against the door. No working with generators, but did pick up 2 magazines for armoured vehicles, which we would use later on in the playthrough, hopefully. The zombie almost snuck up on me when I wasn't really paying attention, but took care of him, no worries, and decided that we'd loot the rest of the house and make our way to the next house in the street and then on to the bookstore. Hearing a pack of zombies creeping up on me as I was trying to open a window, I abandoned it halfway through from removing the broken glass and decided that I would dispatch them before going any further at this point. Didn't want another occurrence like earlier where I almost got jumped by those zombies at the top of the stairs. Once again, the zombies took out my ankles, this time sending me straight to my ass. Lucky there wasn't a huge group of zombies, because that could have been breakfast right there. Wiped out the rest of the zombies and proceeded to remove the broken glass and check out this shed. It did look promising. There was a generator in here that I would come back for at a later date. Found a good magazine for performance vehicles, which we would need to do any of the armoured vehicles, so grabbed that and a propane torch that I seen. Decided to head on next door and start with next door's shed that was getting banged on by this zombie here. Not really realising that I was at the end of the street at this point and that there would be more zombies than usual. Pretty, decent cluster of zombies started coming from the fog at the front of the house, and looking at my noodles up in the top corner of the screen, I realised I was getting tired and that this could be a very dire situation. So there's some very stupid moves coming around the shed, because for some stupid reason the zombies had decided that the garage door was more, edible than I was. Whatever, Mr. Zombies. I decided that I'd head over towards the house. This guy scared the absolute bejesus out of me. Then his girlfriend showed up, and her mate, and more zombies, and at this point I was thinking, shit, this might not end, and we might be sort of in a lot of trouble. We're at the end of the street, the church is just over there, there could be so many zombies in the fog that I am not seeing right now. The more zombies that dropped, just, the more that seemed to pop up, and it was just, our first, probably, semi-hairy moment of this playthrough, where we were biting off probably a little bit more than we could chew. But with the power of the bow staff and our experiencing long blunt, we proceeded to power through all of the zombies, and decided at this point that it was best that we get into the closest house and take a little bit of a break. In the shed we found a pretty good haul of seeds, so we thought we'd grab those with us and head inside to see what type of loot was in there. Taking care of a few zombies on the bottom floor, so that we could at least have a nice quiet place to rest after our efforts out the front. I adjusted the TV to life and living because we want pretty much every TV in your vicinity to be on life and living. It helps. Went upstairs to look for this zombie that was making a bit of noise, couldn't find him at first. But then through process of elimination of the rooms, figured out that he must be behind that last door. Grabbed a couple of books, smashed the zombie's brains out in his bathrobe, quickly looted the rest of the house and proceeded to make my way into town. Arriving to town, I found a couple of zombies over at the Zippy Mart thing and decided that it was best to start wasting them, because if I was going to go to the bookstore, this entire part of the street I'd have to make sure it was pretty clear. Being incredibly foggy, I was a bit on guard because zombies could really come from anywhere at this point, making a bit of noise and drawing the attention of a fair few zombies from the neighbouring buildings. A couple of barbers came out from the barber store, one in green and one in yellow, so got rid of those guys. But good to see the green and gold. Headed over to the Zippy Mart and smashed this dude through the window. I was unsure exactly how to sort of get through here. Maybe jumping through the window would be risky, but taking the risk, we jumped through the window and just dodged out of the zombie's way in time. Taking care of him, we went about getting some snacks and some food for the day and decided that we would then continue our journey up to the bookstore. We found another couple of zombies out the front of the legal services, which we thought we'd dispatch of before we proceeded on to the bookstore. Took note of the medical centre that we'll probably loot that on the way out. Arriving at the bookstore, we started looking through the books and found Carpentry Volume 2 and 3 straight away. No working generators so far. That's what we really wanted. Found another vehicle mag. Found another vehicle mag. Grabbed Carpentry Volume 4. And decided that that was pretty much all we needed for now, just to get our carpentry experience up and running, because where we were going to build a base from scratch, so as much carpentry experience as we could possibly get in the next couple of days while the TV was on was probably best advised, and at this point decided that we would head upstairs and take care of some of the zombies up there. Upstairs in the first flat, I found the culprit making a little bit of the noise as was in the area. Beating his brains out in the hallway, I decided that I would enter the apartment and take care of his mate. Noticing that it was getting pretty close to lunchtime at this point, I thought I might take advantage of the TV and watch some carpentry while we were here. Get that little bit more experience towards, getting our carpentry as high as possible. So, adjusting the TV to life and living and speeding up time to get that experience, we got our experience for the day and proceeded to go about looting the rest of the apartments just above the bookstore and the medical centre here. Unfortunately, so far, these apartments are starting to look like a bit of a bust. We're desperately looking for this working generators mag. There was a fair few locations here where one could spawn, but unfortunately, no, we weren't finding it. In our final apartment, though, we did come across a bit of a find, which was a big hiking bag. So, changing our school bag out for that, we decided that we would just ditch the school bag completely and just swap over to the large hiking bag at this point, give us a lot more storage capability, and it was quite a bit of a win for the day. That coupled with all of the books that we just got from the bookstore, we were now able to make quite a bit of progress at this point. So decided to head on out into the town and continue a little bit more looting. I decided that looting the medical facility beside us would be number one on our list, because knowing my playthroughs, I get injured, so probably best to get some bandages and some disinfectant and stuff like that to make sure that we could stay healthy would be a good idea right now. My track record was not good, so grabbing a couple of bandages and some disinfectant and some alcohol wipes, I proceeded to loot the medical center as fast as possible, because I could hear some zombies banging around in the background that I just couldn't really pinpoint. Grab some beta blockers until we became brave and desensitized. We'd be needing them until that point, so might as well stock up on some of them, and headed outside to see what was out in the town. A couple of zombies out in the street, so I got rid of this one, and then seen that there was a couple over near the church and headed over that way. This guy here was just lazily sitting below the window, thought he was more than the one that he was, but just was him, so proceeded to go around to the car park at this point and see what we could find there. Car with, gas canister, anything to help us on our way would be really good at this point. Finding the car park relatively empty, but this group of zombies over here. But there was a fair few cars of interest here as well. I decided that I'd search around and have a look at the truck and the 2 utes at least, because both of them would be good to aid to our cause. I really like looking for trucks and utes early game, just so that you've got something that's got a fair bit of storage, instead of just like a small boot of a car, which you can fill pretty quick, believe me. Checking the big white truck, I found a hunting knife which would come in handy later. Decided to kill these two that obviously were coming from some pink wedding thing. Decided to check the ute and finish checking the last few vehicles in the car park and start looting the houses directly across the road from the church. We got lucky again on day 2 by finding another car with a key in it, so dispatching the 2 zombies that are now coming to get me for finding this car. I quickly jumped back in it and grabbed the key out of the ignition, so making a mental note that we now had a second car for this playthrough, one that had, once again, decent storage. We decided that, yeah, this car park was pretty much done and we should head over to the houses across the road and see what type of loot was in them. If we could clear this side of the street at least for the day, we'd be doing pretty good. We'd know that our general area was clear of the majority of the zombies and that nothing from this, general area between us and the church would come bothering us in the night. We knew that we had the fire station behind us, which was, a barricade in its own right. This was really, the only area we had to worry about for the next couple of days. So, running around and searching this house, there was not much to find. I did note that there was a lot of food in the kitchen that we would come back for at a later date, but heard a bit of a noise outside. upstairs and decided that best be going to find this zombie. Found her in the bathroom and let her out to cop them both after the face. Decided to finish looting the house and proceed to continue clearing the side of the street. I heard a couple of zombies banging away upstairs in this house, so I thought I'd creep up there and quickly brain them before moving on. So far we'd found nothing spectacular in these houses, which has been unfortunate, but our next two things that we're going to come across were the two sheds outside, so hopefully that'll be a little bit more fruitful for us. We just really wanted, nails at this point. My aim was to get maybe about 10 boxes of nails before we set off to build our base from scratch, because we're going to need a lot of damn nails for that project. So searching the rest of this house and doing a little bit of management in the form of having a cigarette and making sure our mood was good, we proceeded to head outside and search the two sheds. Finding a couple more boxes of nails in this shed was an absolute godsend, so we grabbed them quickly. That added to our collection. I think that brought our total now to about 5 boxes of nails, so halfway to our objective of 10. The second shed had sweet fuck all, unfortunately, so we decided to push on into the house. Noticed there was quite a few zombies outside, so thought it best to take it a little bit easy and get rid of as many of them as possible. This end of the street does tend to get a little bit, busier as you head down. Getting rid of a small group in the backyard. I decided to head into the house and do a quick loot of this one and make it into the next house in the street, which would be the final house in the street, where hopefully we would find working with generators mags somewhere, or something of use to aid us in our quest, because other than the 2 boxes of nails we found in the shed, this entire row of houses had been literally, quite a bit of a bust. But, clearing out the zombies being the main objective, we had at least done that. So, looting the house, we decided to head on out to the next house in the row. The door was unlocked, surprisingly, and at this moment, really a bit unaware, I got attacked by this zombie and I thought my game was over. Luckily enough though, earlier we had found a scarf and we'd been wearing that, so that gave our neck a little bit of protection, because that was a very bad wound. And quickly got on healing ourselves. As I said earlier, we found the injury, so it was good that we stopped at the medical centre and quickly bandaged ourselves up and took care of the zombie banging at the front door. In a bit of a panic at this stage, because we, came very close to ending our entire run right here on day 2. Had a quick look in the wardrobe, made a mental note that there was a crowbar there if I ever needed it. Got rid of the second zombie that was coming to the front door. And decided that, after that close call, it was probably best that we head home at this point. And call it a night so that we could recover and survive for day 3. Because, scary moment where that injury could have cost us absolutely everything. Thank God we found that scarf earlier. Making it home after a little bit of a close call earlier in that last house, we decided to set about putting some of our stuff away. Kept carpentry books on us because we're going to start getting a head start on reading that while we were recovering from our now injury. Put all of our magazines and stuff away for now because they weren't really that important to, hold on us at the moment. So far we had acquired quite a little bit of stockpile of books and magazines that were going to aid us in our playthrough. Our skills in that were looking pretty good. Realised that we were getting pretty close on the carpentry front, so decided that we'd read this book because it was about to become obsolete. Our neck injury kicked up again, so we decided it best to get onto that and heal that as soon as possible because, literally almost could have been the end of it run. Thank God it wasn't. After I had our character all bandaged up, I decided that we'd fill up our water bottles and clean our bandages, and that it might be, important to start carrying some, disinfected bandages just in case of emergencies like that in the future. So I set about disinfecting our bandages in preparation for, changing of the one that we were currently wearing when it was dirty and any future injuries that we would, suffer inevitably. As I thought, the scarf that we had found earlier was totally destroyed, so I do think that that scarf was the factor that saved our life in that earlier encounter. So, having a cigarette to enjoy our success and realising that our health was rather low, I decided that we should probably call day 2 to an end and head upstairs and put away a little bit more of our stuff. As I was heading to the bedroom to call it a night, I heard a zombie outside and thought we'd best go downstairs and sort him out and not leave him to break our windows. Unfortunately, I chose the wrong way to go around our building in an effort to get to him nice and quickly to stop him from breaking our windows, and yeah, he broke our windows, so getting a little bit pissed off at that, I decided to end the zombie's shit, and now we're on day 3, had to put a lot of time and effort into barricading up the bottom of this building if we wanted to use it as a safe house. But it was probably what we're going to do anyway, so no biggie. So we removed the broken glass and jumped in through the window that the zombie had broken for us and decided that, we now had the objective of day 3 barricading up the bottom floor. Unfortunately, due to our injury, we were in too much pain to go to sleep straight away, and because we had forgotten to grab painkillers, I decided that it was best to just wait out time until we could actually fall asleep with no pain, and call day 2 quits, preparing to barricade our base up on day 3. But until then, as always, have a good one, and look after yourself.